also have to apologize because I haven't been completely honest with you, Cog. I just haven't. Because you know the whole story. I was the sixth man at Takeo, Generation of Miracles, the whole shebang. Yeah, you were their trump card. Nah, I wouldn't say that. I was sort of like a 9 of hearts at the blackjack table. You know, it's like sometimes it's what you want, but then other times it could completely annihilate your hopes at winning anything. Because those boys believed in me, but they didn't trust me. That was like the big thing that I've been struggling with. And to be a bit more accurate with it, I'd say that they just stopped being able to trust me. It's not that they never did. They all started off that way. Even my girl too. I don't know if you could see it on my face, but I really do love that woman. I don't know if she has to make it any more clearer, but she's a hooper herself. A hooper's hooper. Like, she really knows the game inside and out, and she really is something special. And even her, she stopped being able to trust me too. Because one of her stipulations for a relationship is a hooper. Like, that's just what she wants. And it's like she could trust Aomine for that. I'm better than him in every other facet, every other quality that she wants in a man. I've got it over him. But that basketball element of it is such a big thing for her that she can't bring herself to, like, commit to me like that. It eats me up every night, Cog. I'm getting off track. The gist of this story is that everyone stopped being able to trust me, man. And because of that, I just wanted to use you when I first met you to kind of get them to acknowledge me and to recognize my style of basketball, to show them, hey, the sport can be played this way too. Man. You know, I was wondering what you might say, and that is bar for bar basically what I had in my head. The whole girl thing, though, that's slightly shocking to me. And I don't know why you don't relay this information, because as boys, we can kind of facilitate wingman. We don't just have to keep it on the court. We could assist in real life. We could talk about that some other time. But I knew it was basically this shit all along, and I felt it in my balls. And I'm not talking about down there. I'm talking about when I released that ball from my fingertips. I just felt it, that I'm just like them. And it's like, I get everyone plays basketball for their own reasons, but compared to those boys, like, I think getting to this point now, we could see that I'm not really any different than that. Cog, shut your bitch ass up. You are different. That's the thing. That's why I'm here right now. In all of our games so far, you trusted me. When you said what you said to me in that locker room at first, to keep it as frank and blunt as possible, my fist was balled, and I was going to swing on you just like how I swing those passes around. It was really charging up, but then I took a step, and I was really thinking about what you were saying and how you were saying it. Those weren't parting words, but words meant to make us stop relying on each other, because we were in a little codependent relationship, low-key, and it was getting toxic. It was getting toxic, Cog. And I feel like that's how it's been with each one of my teammates. It always starts off good. There's the honeymoon phase. We're looking unstoppable in the face of adversity. But then there's a threat that puts everything that we're doing in question and really tests us and really forces us to make changes and forces us to adapt in the heat of the moment. And every single time, my other half would be able to make those changes, but I wouldn't. I would shrink. I would go flaccid, Cock, in a metaphorical sense. Who's scared of a duo that's half chub? A half chub duo is not winning games. That's why I'll learn how to hoop. I'm not going to just stick to the passes. I'm telling you, Cock, I'm going to be looking like Razan out there. Prime Razan. The passes I'm going to be flinging will have my girls singing. I may hit a tween. I'm going to get diverse. I'm going to get crafty. And I'm going to take down the Generation of Miracles. I'm dealing with a lot of emotions right now with how this first season ended. I also want to make a quick comment. I understand the audio has been a bit iffy on my last 2 videos. I'm going to try and prioritize that as much as I can this video. The thing is, I record standing up. So sometimes when I'm getting into it, especially with shows like this, and I'm talking about moves, I'm hitting them. I'm doing it right now. You can't see it, but I'll be hitting them as I'm talking about them, and then I'll move away from the mic. So I'm going to do my best to kind of be aware and mindful of that. I mean, we started off, I saw Kagami trying to contact the committee to get a drug test involved, but they're usually slow to respond. I don't know if that's going to be happening anytime soon. So we just got to live with the results and move forward and get better. And one of the first factors in this getting better arc is Kagami's cousin, I guess, because they damn near look the same. He just doesn't have the red tint to him. And I guess he is one of the anchors to this team, the OG team captain, the one who put this thing all together. And I think the streets were calling him Kagami Brown or something. That's what the subtitles were saying, so that's what I'm just going to roll with. And he's been MIA because he had a double Achilles tear last season and had to recover and get surgery. And he's now finally making his return. And when he does make his return, we see that Kagami at practice, he's acting like his old self, playing selfish basketball. So Kagami Brown, He wasn't taking that. He was trying to win his spot back on this team because he has been off the roster for a minute. So he said, let's run the ones for the starting position. And I could just tell Kagami's been working on his handle, especially after Aomine. I would have went straight to the part cone drills because he goes cross left behind the back spinner, almost tore his ACL again. He just got back. He's going up with the right hand. I forgot we were dealing with Mac McClung here. And he hits some idiotic acrobatic over and under 180 Jordan Kilgannon shit. And if I'm Buddy, I'm passing the mantle to my red brother. Kagami Brown is no more. But I mean, having a dude like him coming off the bench too, that's going to be an integral part for their success as a franchise. Because I think they were saying he was like a point guard center type of player. And while this guy did get cooked by Kagami, he came back and he was coaching up a Storm damn near better than Mamovich. And he was just giving suggestion after suggestion as to what they need to do. And one of those things was Kagami and Kuroko kind of finding their style of basketball. And the way that they decided to do that was by taking a trip out to the mountains and to the beaches to do a lot of conditioning drills in environments that they weren't used to. But first they had to get the most important thing under control, which was Mamovich's culinary skills, because that shit is worse than Kuroko's jump shot. And they're running food trials with her, and the first dish that she concocted up damn near looked like the appetizer from SpongeBob, that one pile of mush that came alive on its own, when in reality this is supposed to be curry. That shit is disrespectful to Stefan, but we could see as everyone's eating it about to have their own individual medical emergencies. She could tell the vibes are off and she's like, damn, that shit wasn't really good, was it? And we could see that her fingers are like bandaged up, like she's been really in the lab trying. And that's the most important part. And Hyuga does quite possibly one of the best lock-ins I've ever seen in my life. Because like, again, we know that this is his girl basically. And it's like in front of everyone, he's not going to make her feel bad. So he does what's necessary and starts scarfing that down. And look at the face our boy Eagle Eye is making after that first bite. He is frightened for his life because this may or may not be attempted murder from the coach right now. Hey, Shai, thanks for the food. It tasted straight, but it had a little kick to it. Slight spice, nothing crazy though. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm gonna go get something to drink though to kind of cool down the heat of that spice, but also how hot that food was. That was delectable. Seriously.
Yeah, no, he's right on the money. It had a pretty unique flavor, but that's what's good about it. And aside from all of that rigmarole, it had the most important ingredient of all. It had love. And I mean, I could tell just looking at this crock pot of bullshit that every vegetable and maybe even some fruits that are in there, unfortunately, that every whole uncut piece of those things were thrown in there with our futures in consideration. And off of first glance, one may think you were trying to sabotage those futures. And to that person who might think that, I'd call them an idiot. Because they're clearly no chef like yourself, coach. There's a couple edits I would make here and there where you may have went wrong, but I mean, it's nothing too crazy. Fuck it. I mean, why don't you just try making it again? Round 2.
Man, these are not boys. These are men, y'all. Like, just making her feel good about that trash. Yo, Hyuga, you good? Hyuga!
Yo, I don't care what the fucking bill is. Call the ambulance right now. I'm gonna need another surgery. That shit was trash as fuck. Please get a defibrillator on standby, y'all.
So yeah, she almost takes Mitabe's, Kagami Brown's, and Hyuga's life. This was probably the funniest scene in the show. I probably say it every video, and I know I repeat myself, but I really just enjoy like the cast. Like I thought it was going to be very Kagami, Kuroko, and whoever they face centered, but they really do a good job in episodes like these, specifically just getting these other side characters involved, even if there are some games where they're really quiet. But we see Big Red doing what he does best. Not only can he cook on the court, but he could cook off of it, and he conjures up some delectable cuisine to where he then starts teaching Mamovich how to cook. So she comes in for round 2, and we find out that one of the reasons why her shit tasted so awful in comparison to Kagami, even though they made the same dish, is because for seasoning, while he used the normal products such as adobo, garlic, salt, pepper, she was taking a different approach, which is like you have to do in the culinary world, you know, just mixing and mastering until you get it right. But she was putting vitamin C and Percocets on their rice for topping. And I'm not gonna lie, that might be the dumbest shit I've ever seen. That's a lawsuit for sure. I know it's just protein and vitamin C, but you could still, too much of that, you could hurt yourself. So, I mean, there would have to be some consequences. Obviously, I'm not going to fight her, so maybe we get her dad involved. But she removes the extracurriculars and keeps it curricular. And it turns out that she made a very good dish, and that's all we needed. Now we can start this little training regimen. And now I would talk about their training arc, but it wasn't anything too deep. It's just Kuroko and Kagami had some epiphanies about their game and what they need to work on. They were training out in the mountains with Shutoku. Olive was giving his advice about the stars and about what Kagami should work on by running a one-on-one with him, putting his red bean soup on the line. And when it was all said and done, they basically just came back better than they were before. But when they're about to depart, there's tension in the air because two titans are about to clash. And Siren just so happens to be in the same town where this generational scuffle is going to take place. Where Kise, aka Sanji, aka Business Cash, was going up against Aomine, aka the Melanated Maestro, aka the Ankle Assassin. And I'm gonna be honest, completely forgot Kise was in the running for this competition. I thought that when Serum beat them the first time, they were out, but I forgot that you were given a free loss, and they just haven't talked about them since like that. So this was a big time match. So big, in fact, that Kise's coach had to pop out in style, because this was not only a battle with the players, this was a battle of coaches too. And we already know how Aomine's coach is coming. Curls he conditions at least 3 times a day. Loose fitted dress shirt with a loose tie with his chest hair poking out the top a little bit, just in case he sees the fine English teacher he's been eyeing pulling up to the game, who just so happens to have a thing for chest hair. Most likely a designer belt, let's not be silly here. So Kise's coach had to do what he had to do and pull up dressed for the occasion, shave the stubble and pull out the Burberry tie. I already know that this nigga's serious about the tie. Once you have a tie like that out in play, you're not there to make friends, you're there to make a statement. And his statement was, yeah, you may have the 10 out of 10 English teacher, sure, but with the way my team's about to perform, when this game's all said and done, I'm gonna have the 7 out of 10 math teacher who's plump in all the right places, who also has a personality all over my body. So who's the real winner here? We see that Aomine showed up on time this time, because him and Kise have history. I'm not gonna say they have beef, but they have a competitive tension in between them, because the way Kise plays ball is very similar to that of Kakashi. We saw it from the beginning of the series that he really doesn't even have his own bag like that. If anything, it's like a plastic bag from the grocery store. You know, max 5 items. He really doesn't have an arsenal that deep, but mid-game he could swap out those items quick to then give him a lot of tools and tactics at his disposal, which Aomine knows, and we see in a little bit that it puts some pressure on him for the first time, which is why he's taking this game so seriously, coming into it as if he's planning to not only take this game but also take this nigga off the face of the earth. And it's just a very interesting dynamic that's going on, because Kise looks up to Aomine. And I said that this is going to be like a LeBron prime Kobe type of matchup, but scratch that. This is kind of like Kobe versus Jordan when they went up against each other way back, because there's like the teacher and then there's the student, and that same student is like mimicking his game off of the teacher. Because when you're looking at a player like Kise and looking at his arsenal and his skills, you're looking at him like, damn, he could really be the best player in the league. But then you look at Aomine and look at his body of work in terms of what he's produced in this show so far, and then there's no debating that he's the GOAT of season 1. So it was just very interesting to kind of see how they both were going into this game and their mindset towards it.
Man, didn't I tell you not to make me worry every time? Aomine, damn.
We're up against Kise. There's absolutely no way in hell I'd be late. It's been a minute since I felt this way, but I've been looking forward to playing against him for a very, very long time, because he's one of the few guys where I could just take their neck and wring them out and just sponge this sport out of them to make them never want to even be within 10 miles of the hardwood again. Aomine, I won't lose this time, brother. Huh? You seem a bit more confident than usual, Kise. Have you ever even beaten me before or come close to it? The past is the past. I woke up today feeling like that changes right here, actually. It's not that I don't want to lose today, it's that I won't. I'm not gonna lose today. So now we just got niggas saying whatever. That's crazy. I mean, I know you heard what they've been calling me on social media. They're calling me Eminem, like Melanated Maestro. I mean, it really has a little ring to it. Hey, good luck, man. You're gonna need all you can get, really. I mean, with how freaky we're about to get, this shit's gonna start looking like a circus. Yeah, no, good luck to you, man. Would you prefer me robbing you of your Methodist site now, or just randomly throughout the game, since your broke ass couldn't afford some sports goggles? You know what? I think I like you, man. I respect that. Have a great game. He's got presence. I wouldn't expect less from the captain. He seems like he knows how to lead a team. Guys, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't know what to do against these guys. There's a very high chance that they run us out of this damn gymnasium. But remember, we do have that trump card. Operation gets suspended for the rest of the season. One of us has to take that blow if Aomine is going nuclear. I don't think it should be Kise, considering he's really the only one that knows his skill, knows his ability, and could probably keep up with him. But Kise, if he is doing you in a disrespectful, embarrassing way, to where your reputation might be on the line, you may just have to let that shit loose. Don't give him a chance for recovery, like really end his career. But that's worst case scenario. One of the seniors will probably take the blow if the shit's looking bleak, since this is our last season anyway, and we won't even get tried as an adult in court either. So it's like it all works out in the end. That's only if it's necessary, and that's only if he's really trying to hurt us on a level that's more than basketball. Y'all get me? So let's do this thing. Let the second quarterfinal game between Kaijo High School and Aomine Academy, To'o Academy. Let the games begin. Now we get this thing started. We got Sumima-sen making Sumima swishes. with a quick dagger from the corner off the bat, and immediately Kaijo retaliates with a steal and a deep dagger. 3-3. To where now it's what 80% of this game is probably going to entail, which is an Aomine ISO ball on Kise. And Aomine goes to the pass. Just kidding, he wouldn't do that shit even if his family's life was on the line. Here comes the Category 5 storm. It felt like there was a violation in there, but I guess the ref's letting it slide. He gets his crossover going per usual. He's gone.
Is what I would say if Kise didn't have this nigga under surveillance. He's locked.
And what's coming up next? His trademarked move. A here goes nothing, which is what anyone other than him would be saying, but for him it's here goes something because he knows this shit's going in every time. And thankfully, Kise stops this formless fuckery before it starts, and Hassan Whitesides that shit. I didn't think you'd actually stop that one. Who do you think was running ones with you every single day, brother? That shit wasn't just for show. If anyone knows the way you chuck up bullshit, it's me. You could be the maestro all you want, man. But if that's the case, then I'll just be the blonde bandit. I didn't like that one bit. That shit was trash. But I see what you're getting at. Tensions are rising. We're seeing that Kuroko's girl didn't even give Aomine the schematics on Kise's current state of play, and that he actually refused to accept the cheat sheet, which, I mean, you got to commend him for that. Team captain tries hitting a Michael Jeffrey Jordan Tate and just heaves and hoes. There was no shot this shit was going in, but we see why number 10's on their team, because he might possibly be the best offensive rebounder in the country, and he bulldozes through niggas, and he gets like a power amp for like 3 seconds once that ball bounces off the rim. Gives a quick dish out to number 5, who kind of threw that shit up like XQC. No fundamentals in that form, but it was butter. And this is turning out to be a pretty close game. And Kise finally gets his ISO opportunity he's been looking for this whole game on Aomine. Triple threat position. Tries hitting a quick maneuver on him. But Aomine foresaw where that ball was going to be.
And robbed that nigga like my previous exes robbed my heart.
He gets robbed, and then Aomine starts hitting a sequence on him. Gets past him, draws the contact, and one low nigga. What can you do about it? Nothing. Game's tied up. And Kise's decided it's time to actually play some ball. He was just warming up, and he activates his Sharingan and hits the spin cycle that team captain hit earlier on in the game. Pulls up in Aomine's face, full contest. Don't know what outcome he expected with this one, but there's no way it could have been favorable. And he knocked that shit out of bound. And going into the next quarter, it's 18-18 tied up. And Sanji's on the bench talking to coach on some shit like, "Coach, I want you to take the weights off of me and let me do it." I'm thinking he's just talking about like passing the ball, because that's something the generation of miracles other than Kuroko at this moment in time, they're not really fluent in that language. So that's what I assumed he was talking about, which is what he did at first. He did pass the ball.
And had Aomine just as confused as I was, because I didn't know what Kise had up his sleeve at this moment in time. But that pass then resulted in Aomine Academy getting a steal.
Triple threat position up top, blows by Kise. But what our All-American team captain wanted to do here was take the charge when Aomine was trying to go for the hammer. And by the looks of it, to me, it kept looking like Kise was just getting exposed time and time again. And it didn't seem like whatever his plan was, it didn't seem like it was working. The Academy gets the ball again. Here comes Aomine with the quick dribble too. I'm gone. Just kidding. Snatch back. Now I'm actually out of here. Kise crew can't seem to stop this nigga at the moment, and he's starting to gain momentum.
To where he then gets the ball again, and here comes the Cyclone, sound the alarms. And he created about 8 feet of space, but Kise closed them out as good as you can. This is the best defense you could ask for if you're Coach Burberry. And against any normal player, even a player of Jordan's caliber, this is going to be a tough shot. But of course, to no one's surprise, Aomine has both difficult shots and flexible release. Vibranium tier equipped, so I mean, this was going in one way or another. And I'm not even surprised at this. Let me go in my dictionary really quick. I'm not even surprised at this applesauce anymore. I'm just.
But this is where things start to change up, because we see Sanji having his internal monologue talking about just kind of admiring Aomine. And he was talking about how after so many instances of him being able to copy everyone's abilities, he could just never mimic his. And the reason why he was having that mental block is because if he were to hypothetically copy his abilities, there was a chance he could overtake him. And he put Aomine on such like a high pedestal that he didn't want to knock him off. And this is where that switch happens, because now he's come to the understanding that he can't have the best of both worlds. He was such a big fan of this nigga that he didn't want him to lose, nor did he want to lose himself. So in this moment, he says, you know what, fuck it. I'm not going to be a glazer anymore. I'm become a hater.
And I'm going to rob this nigga of his whole bag and everything he's ever worked for.
He needs a little bit of time to charge up his ability. It's kind of like a 3D printer. He needs that time, so his team's going to need to step up so he could basically become him. Because he not only needs to become him on a physical level, but on a mental level as well. Favorite food, favorite beverage, taste in woman, skin color too. He has to go into this third quarter believing that he is black. Some feelings are going to need to be hurt in order to win this game, is basically what I'm trying to say here. And when this episode, because I was watching these last couple episodes, I like scheduled today. Today's Friday. I don't know when this video's going out, but I scheduled today to kind of just chill in bed without even reacting to them. and just have like a nice chill watch session. When I saw coming into this third quarter that this nigga was murmuring to himself as if he's been possessed, and I see him fast breaking up court towards Evil Hugo, and the look in his eyes is no longer that of the blonde bandit, but is indeed the melanated maestro himself. And I saw that same misdirection dribble. I got up out of my bed and I turned on my recorded shit from the middle of this episode until the end of the next one. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to react to it because I knew it was about to get freaky. Actually, no, let me correct myself. I didn't get up yet. I'll tell you when I got up, because they start playing prison ball with this nigga.
And these are the worst types of people to play with too. When you just start feeling yourself and you're having an out of body experience where you're just making shit you wouldn't even make on a regular day. And you're on some shit where like Olive Yagami would be saying today's your lucky day and your lucky item is a fuchsia pink 10-inch shaboing boing. I hate when you're having a performance like that and you're up against someone who just can't keep up. So then they resort to trying to send you to the intensive care unit and try putting your ass in critical condition for no reason at all.
Evil Hugo was talking about goosebumps. I don't usually agree with him on a lot of things, but I had those too. I had the goosies. We see number 6 on Aomine Academy. Try to lock him up. He's conjuring up another spell. Here he goes. Dumbass. Tween cross. Just quick. Us. Just a quick, stupid ass move. Almost broke something. And then he goes for Aomine's patented bucket of bullshit. And what does number 6 do? This is a flagrant, not even low key. Eject him. And even the ref saw it. That was an intentional push. He said push. Number 6 black, free throw 2 shots. That should be a tech. You're teed. You're teed if that's me, man. I'd be doing that nigga like this.
Get the fuck out of here!
That's how you gotta do it. That's how you gotta do it with them though. You can't be generous with these players. And my dad always told me free throws are crucial. Always said that, and that's a direct quote, so he better make both of them. And you would think that at this point the Kise killers would have the momentum, but Aomine Academy retaliated so fast that the animators didn't even have time to animate the shot that this nigga shot, because as soon as he got the ball inbounded, he basically just chucked it up into the basket to neutralize any momentum that Kise and them thought they were about to have. And Aomine already knew what he was up to, and that he was copying his whole bag. And he was telling that nigga to hurry the fuck up. So we get this shit going again. Number 10 is grabbing those boards as he should. Beautiful pass out. Good thing it's Friday because the bank is most certainly open. Evil Hugo tries one of his evil passes to Sorry Sliders, but then he gets his shit Sorry swatted by XQC. And it was right then and here where like Kise was expediting his copy process, because what he's doing is like some cellular level type of shit. He's like imprinting Aomine's patterns onto each and every cell in his body. It's a whole thing. But his teammates' enthusiasm and camaraderie expedited that process for him now, and he was really in it. And this is where I was saying that I took my blanket off, stood up, raised my desk because it was at a sitting level, turned on my lights, and I was like, yeah, I've got to watch this shit. Because you know Aomine's famous quote, he says it damn near 3 times every episode he's in. The only person that could beat me is me. When I saw, I'm not even gonna call him Sanji, I'm gonna call him by his government name. When I saw this nigga Kise Ryota squeak his shoes and prepare for takeoff and say, what if that me, in quotes, is who you're playing against? Because he's caught. That was harder than like anything any nigga has said. In any sports anime I watched, that was good. And maybe I misheard, but he definitely said nigga at the end of it. That's how I knew he was like
that he's fully Aomine number 2. And moving forward, win or loss, this nigga's new nickname is the sequel.
It's this nigga with his own misdirection crossover. Vanishes. I'm jumping for joy at this point. And you know it's getting crazy when you had niggas screaming on his team. Kise gets that blow by. He's going up for a little fundamental finger roll. Aomine's tweaking, screaming his head off. Kuroko's girl is more concerned than she's ever been, and Aomine gets the contact. So Kise's going to the line one way or another. But when I saw this position, I had a bad but great feeling. I was getting flashbacks to the slaughter, but I was getting visions of a hopeful future. Because that whistle gets blown, and Kise hits us with that damn smirk. I knew what time it was, bruh. It was time for bullshit and a bunch of baloney. With this dumbass alien-like shot, Kise hoists that thing up and drops it into the net. And not only did he get the and one, nigga, but Aomine is also in foul trouble, so everything's going right now. And it was going way too right. And for the first time, we see Aomine completely flustered and overwhelmed, to where Evil Hugo tries throwing him a pass. He misses the pass. The real Aomine steals the shit from him, blasting down the court. Sumima-sen tries pulling up on him. If I'm Aomine here, I'm sorry your family gave birth to you, nigga. Stop. Fuck you dancing for, bruh. Boy, you ain't a threat. I hope you enjoy my sweat, and I do not know why you don't have a GPS. I'm out of here. And Sequel was about to ferociously slam that thing until Aomine somehow caught up to him and met him at the rim and sent that shit out of here. They all underestimated me thinking I would back down just because I got 4 fouls. But it's you that bothers me the most, nigga. Can you not get your own bag? Can you not get your own? Why do you have to copy it? I since day one, like, I knew you had God-given athletic ability, but I mean, just get your own shit. Why do you have to copy folks? Damn, you're sorry. And don't be sitting here trying to show concern for me. Because if you got time to do that, then you should be coming at me like your life depends on it. Nigga, shut your bitch ass up. If the game ended with me just copying one of your shits, that would have been way too easy. And from then on, this just became a back and forth brawl of buffoonery. Because anything Aomine did, Aomine was on the other side mimicking the shit. He hit his patented limbo fadeaway. Here comes the sequel as tenacious as ever, hitting this shit even harder. So shimmy, let me hit this midi. Here he goes. Shit was wetter than his too. The actual Aomine hits his 90-mile-per-hour fastball, and Kise just low-key hits that shit better.
And starts cocking this shit back, assuming this position. If I'm in the stands, watching my sport that I love, and I see a nigga on the court hit something looking like this, you better call the National Guard. Because there's about to be anarchy. The type of back and forth that they had going on, these are the types of momentous shifts in the world that can cause a revolution, and I'd be the leader of that revolution on some One Piece shit, because these niggas are clearly the worst generation of miracles. Or I'd even be on some Akainu shit and just try to stop them, because I like the fundamentals. And yeah, that's not to say I can't get crafty. Like, I'll get crafty, I'll put some pizzazz in my shit, but this is not pizzazz. This is a fucking cosmic circus. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on. If a nigga back from the Plumber era was in the stands for this game and they were still alive after this game, no they aren't. Start making preparations. I hope they have a medical team on standby, because with the shit they're seeing with their very own 2 eyes, they'd probably already assume that they're in basketball heaven or something. Which then after that, I feel like it'd be fair to put both Aomine and the sequel. No, we got to keep the sequel free. But I think after that, then I think it'd be fair to put Aomine on trial and set him away for a couple years. But no, that's besides the point.
Keep the Japanese on this ball. Kise's more fluent. And this is why I was saying I feel like Kise could, like, if he really masters Aomine's craft and then just tweaks it in a way to where he makes it his own, he would be better than this nigga. Because we see Aomine coming hot. He punches it on Kise's head. That's fine. Kise does him one better. This nigga goes FTL through his whole team. Just doing cone drills. Taking off damn near from the free throw line. I'm seeing evil Hyuga obstructing our path. I'm just thinking we're putting it on that glasses wearing fucker's head. I'm thinking we're punching it on him. But no, he does something even more obnoxious. He's 360ing Zach LaVine, having niggas creaming from the free throw line on Aomine too. Fuck you mean? This is deadass the All-Star game with just 2 All-Stars, because Aomine retaliates with a reverse up and under chocolate McFlurry right on top of that dude. And I think Kise was about to go for it here, but he felt tension in his Achilles. I was getting scared because with how fast paced this was going, I really thought something was going to tear, and that this was like a Halliburton finals run type of incident where he's putting on a performance where it's like he probably sacrificed someone or 2 before this game to enable him to do this. When I saw the screen go red and they panned up his leg in the way that it did, I thought he was done, but he still kept his momentum, was fading behind the backboard just like the Mamba himself did that one time, and that ball slithered in there. 8-point game. And I'm thinking Kise's done, but he's gotten in this other team's head so bad that when Sumima-sen is getting the ball here, he's not even paying attention. And there goes that pink sugar cookie from Crumble. I'm out of here. But somehow, I don't know how he does it, Aomine catches up to his twin, hunkers down and gets in his defensive position, and they're both playing mind games with each other. Where being the hooper that I am watching this, I predicted that Kise wasn't going to go right or left, but he was just going to take it up the middle. I'm thinking he's going for a floaty, and I was greatly mistaken, and maybe some people didn't catch this. This is where, even though the momentum was clearly on Kise's side, this is where I knew this game was over. And I knew this the moment I saw this genetic mutation of a human not jump to get this ball. Because when you jump, you kind of get down, you need to assume the position, shoot upwards, and like your hands go up, whatever. We know how to jump. This nigga Aomine looked like he had 2 strings clamped onto the back of his jersey and he got hoisted up into the air. So this is I'm understanding what's going on here. He has put so much time and effort into the sport to where it's like, even if he's supposed to be at a disadvantage, the basketball in a time of dire need will attract this nigga to the ball just so he could then regain the advantage. because I'll replay it back. This was not a jump. I'm somewhat of a Division 1 athlete myself. No one jumps like this. This nigga deadass turned on creative mode for 1 second and just acted like no one would notice. He goes up for the block. I see Kise trying to put together something fantastic, and I'm thinking he's gonna hit his little over the head shot again, but no. He's instead going for the pass, which, peep this angle, there is not any reason that this pass should not get to number 4 here. But here comes that stupidity that I was just talking about, and the part of his game that Kise didn't pick up on when he was mimicking him. The fact that he could turn on and off that creative mode shit. Because without any momentum at all falling downwards, he somehow is able to whip his body around and spin while stealing the ball with immaculate precision. And when I saw that, even though I knew that game was over when he started levitating, I definitely knew it was solidified right here. And Aomine Academy starts getting a lead again, and it's looking bleak, but then Kise till the very end was fighting. And he goes to meet that nigga at the rim to try and send his shit to the hardwood one last time. They somehow have a whole 45-second conversation while airborne, and then Aomine powers through Kise the copy ninja, and for one final time puts his ass on a poster, and that was game. And I think after that, I'm gonna be getting myself a Kise jersey, because that was one of the most special performances I've ever seen. If you don't like that, you don't like Kuroko's basketball. So what are the rest of the Generation of Miracles like? I mean, I only know what they were back in middle school. I'm sure they've developed and became a different animal, but the same beast. What the fuck does that mean, Kuroko? Murasaki, I don't even remember how to say that purple Teletubby's name. He's a glutton, but he also eats his opponents under the basket. And then there's Akashi-kun, my evil twin. Your evil twin, what do you mean? You have a brother? Honestly, Kagami, I'm gonna break the fourth wall. The brother who's making this video, Jules Dot, doesn't know yet. But me and him look eerily similar, but y'all should also subscribe to him. But I mean, I can't even imagine what those boys are like now. Kuroko,